Welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
Gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Why, hey there, my fabulous listener. Welcome to episode 188 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Thank you, as always, for lending me your ears today. I do know there's lots of choices out there, and I really do appreciate you making me and the Small Business Made Simple podcast one of those choices. Today, our subject, or our title subject, is the number one reason why your social media isn't working right now. I've got some very interesting points to say about this, so I hope that you stick around to hear what they are. If you are enjoying this podcast, or you would like to tell me whether this number one reason that I'm going to give you is the number one reason why your social media isn't working right now, then I would love you to tag me on your socials, take a screenshot, and let's have a bit of a conversation around that. That would be super cool. Don't forget, you can get all the show notes for this podcast by going to the website at allthews socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/188. This week's episode is sponsored by the Melbourne Innovation Centre and their Digital Solutions Program. I've been involved with Melbourne Innovation Centre as one of their mentors and workshop hosts for about 3 or 4 years now, and was really chuffed that they wanted to come and sponsor my podcast for a few weeks. So if you live in Victoria, listen up, because Melbourne Innovation Centre has subsidised programs to help you with what you're struggling with in business, especially if it's around digital marketing, getting you customers, and all of that great jazz that sometimes can be a real struggle for us small business owners. For just $44, you can get access to 3 hours of mentoring with the mentor of your choice, Jen Donovan. Access to weekly training, workshops, masterclasses, webinars, online courses, and so much more. Like I said, I am one of the mentors for this excellent program, but you know what? There's about 60 mentors. So whatever you're struggling with, I'm sure you can find just the right expert that you need to help you overcome whatever it is that you are struggling with. And of course, if you live in the Shepparton area, you can come and join us next week, actually. Let me have a quick look at my calendar. On Tuesday the 3rd of May, we are actually having a Business Resilience to Brilliance luncheon in Shepparton. So if you are around that area, then come and see me, because I will be there speaking, but also come and listen to some amazing mentors there as well. Back to the courses. If you're interested in signing up to one of the courses, go to courses.melbourneinnovation.com.au, or of course come to my show notes and you can get the link in there. So I did title today's episode as the number one reason why your social media isn't working right now. And although this reason might not be the only reason, it is a massive reason for many, and many that I see and watch. And the number one reason is that you aren't listening to what they are saying. They being the people who control these platforms, because huge news flash, that simply isn't us. For instance, did you listen back in June 2021 when Instagram told us that Instagram was no longer a photo sharing app anymore? Or are you still predominantly sharing photos on Instagram? Did you embrace Reels, or are you still ignoring them with great gusto? The Instagram bosses told us, or announced in December 2021, that they would rethink what Instagram looked like in 2022. And if you're on Instagram at all or a lot, you will have seen so many changes in just this year to the platform. And my prediction is there's something really big coming, and so many more little things coming as well. We can wind the clock all the way back, still thinking about, are we listening, to 2018 when Mark Zuckerberg canned content on Facebook and told us that content was no longer important. And that was all about interactions, community, and really went all in on Facebook groups, encouraging us to grow our communities on Facebook and have meaningful social interactions. So my question to you, 4 years on, is are you still ignoring Facebook groups as part of your marketing strategy, part of your reach out strategy, as I would talk about? Are you still producing content and linking out of Facebook with that content and wondering why there's no interactions, no love, and no algorithm giving to it? Are you still being promotional on your own Facebook page and expecting that that's okay, that another business, Facebook, would let you grow your business for free organically? It just doesn't make sense. Why would a business let you use their platform for free to grow your own business all the time? They're a business. They want to make money. We need to rethink the way we are using these social media platforms. And at the time of this recording, Elon Musk has just purchased Twitter. Good, bad, or indifferent, if Twitter is a place where you go to interact with your clients and your prospects, then you better listen up for what's changing, for what's happening, for what's being tested and measured, and look for changes in your Twitter habits in conjunction with those changes. Or you might lose those thousands of hours that you've spent building an audience on a platform like Twitter, just like we have on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not saying that Elon Musk will change anything, but I want your ears pricked. I want you listening. I want you watching just the subtlest of changes. Remember when Mark Zuckerberg took the news feed out? It was just called feed. There was no longer the word news. Such subtle changes, and yet connecting all the dots, such a big move. And yes, I'll admit that it totally sucks that we have to perform like monkeys for these platforms if we want what they have. If you want the banana, do as we say, because that's the reality of 2022. And the banana being the algorithm. If we want algorithm, if we want to reach more people, if we want to use these platforms organically, so not paying for it to grow our business, then we have to give what they want us to. It's pretty genius that Mark Zuckerberg has created a business that we all promote for him, and not only promote but drive traffic to. There's probably not a website out there that doesn't have the blue F for Facebook and the Instagram symbol on it. We are literally growing their businesses for them. So we need something back in return, and with that, we need to rethink the way we use organic social media, because it's getting harder and harder and harder. And what once worked and what still so many people are doing simply isn't working anymore. Now, full disclosure, I don't have all the answers, and I'm super sorry for that, but I am always testing and measuring things. So perhaps it's time for you to embrace some test and measure theories as well. To that end, let's take Facebook, for instance. Instead of putting a post up with an external link to it, put the link in the comments. See if that makes a difference. See if putting the link in the comments makes a difference to A, the amount of clicks it gets, B, the engagement it gets, C, how many people land on your website, and of course D, if it's to sell something, your sales. Do they go up? Do they go down? Do they stay the same? Did it make no difference at all? This is what test and measure is all about. It's looking at everything holistically and go, did that make a difference for my business? And please stop trying to grow your followers. Stop trying to grow followers as a metric of how successful you think you are on social media. No one, literally no one cares more than you. It is a vanity metric. Now, I will admit that it's good for grants and awards and, of course, for vanity, but it's not much good for anything else. And so the reason why I say stop growing your followers and stop trying to use it as a metric of your success is because I know that your time is so valuable, and the time that you spend marketing could be so much better and more wisely used than just simply trying to grow a number. What's that old saying? You know, my bank manager doesn't accept Facebook likes to pay the mortgage. So the reason why I want you to stop doing it is twofold. One, it's total vanity, doesn't mean anything. And 2, do something else. Do better marketing with the limited time for marketing that you have. Now, I will just caveat all that by saying Facebook did announce last year that people who had over 10,000 followers on their Facebook business page would get extra features. I'm yet to see that happen, but that could be another reason sometimes to grow your followers, is because you will get more features. But I think that is a bit of a dying art as well, which of course we saw with the Instagram link sticker. So above all, stop concentrating on them. Stop using your marketing time to do that activity. Now, Facebook might not be all about the numbers, but it is all about the numbers. So stick with me here. It's not about the number of people who like and follow you, but it is about engagement. It is about brand exposure. It is about that number or those numbers. The reality is a very, very small percentage of people will ever go to your Facebook business page. Doesn't mean that it shouldn't be up to date and that you shouldn't put a little bit of energy into it, but very, very few people will go there. Look at your own habits. How often have you clicked through to someone's Facebook business page as opposed to just seen it in the feed? Your ideal client, the idea is that they will see your content in the feed. You will reach them, you will keep top of mind with them in their own feed, as opposed to trying to direct them to go and have a look at your business page. A little bit different on Instagram, I get that. People are more likely to go and look at your grid on Instagram, but not so much on Facebook. So you have to produce content that will get inside their feed. That's the goal. That's the goal for brand exposure. That's the goal for engagement. So how do we get more algorithm love? How do we use social media these days to grow organically and get our content into somebody else's feed? Well, it does come down to engagement at the end of the day, and it's using engagement strategically. So let's have a look. Even though I don't have the exact answers, let's have a look at a couple of points that I just want to chat to you about that can really help get your content into other people's feed. So the first one is going to be create amazing content. If you want engagement, think of a question that you can ask your audience, and this is just one example of some amazing content you can produce that is purely about getting into people's feed and getting that brand awareness. If you're super smart, then you can get a question that is slightly showing your expertise and also creating that brand awareness. For instance, I did one just recently inside Buy From a Bush Business, my Facebook group. It was like, when did you get your first job in retail? So obviously there are lots of people, what's everyone's favorite subject? Themselves. Everyone wants to answer a question like that. But the trick is not just to do the question, it is to use the background and text. I don't know what this is even called. It's like the square thingy. I don't even know if it has a name, but basically it's when you type something into Facebook and it's short enough that you can choose a background behind it. I hope you know what I mean. If you don't, head to the show notes at socialmediamarketing.com.au/188 and you will see an example there. But basically, that's what I mean. It's got a background and it's text. Absolutely nothing to do with selling, but everything to do with creating brand awareness and engaging. The science, as far as I am concerned, is that getting engaging content in front of a wider audience, say once a week, which will then hopefully, when you put other content with another strategy, like a sales strategy, in front of them too, that it will also land in their feed. So you get one piece of content that's purely about engagement, which, spreads and spreads and spreads like the ripple of when you throw a stone into the water, and you get to people who perhaps don't follow you, your followers, friends, people let's just engage with you, and you get them engaged, and then you follow that up with a piece of content that isn't about engagement. It could be about getting people to sign up for something, or a lead magnet, or it could be a growth strategy or a sales strategy, and then hopefully you get in front of those people too. I say hopefully because, again, we don't control these things, but one definitely complements the other. My second thing to perhaps try to help get more organic traction is putting links in putting links in comments rather than in your captions. Look, I'm currently testing and measuring something on somebody else's platform that's not mine, because I always think it's important to do it on several different platforms, because the algorithm acts very differently depending on what business you are in and who you are trying to attract. Not seeing a huge difference in it, but again, test and measure. We are going to do this for 60 days on and off and see what metrics we come out of. The third thing that you can do, and you know I'm going to say it, the third thing that you can do that can help with organic reach, growth, sales is video. Focus on video. Focus on video. Stretch yourself. Do more video. These platforms have literally told us that is what they want us to do. So unfortunately, again, banana and monkey. Maybe try and stretch yourself to go live once a week. Do reels. You don't have to dance and sing, but you do have to do reels if you are on Facebook or Instagram or, of course, TikTok. But do more video. Do more story videos. In February 2022, the headline was Zuckerberg tells staff to focus on video. Read the signs. Listen to the signs. Act accordingly to the signs. My last two pieces of advice, because I don't want to overwhelm you with one podcast episode, is make marketing a priority and consistently try new things. And of course, keep your ears and eyes open. What's the saying? You know that old saying, if you do what you've always done, you get what you've always got? It's not true. If you do what you've always done on social media, you'll get zip. We need to change. We need to strategically change the way we organically think about these social media platforms. Really try to understand the beast you are working with here. Organic marketing on Meta-owned platforms is almost dead. Posting photos only is dying super quickly, and ignoring video is at your own peril. These people are leaving breadcrumbs for us, and so many small business owners are ignoring the breadcrumbs. If you feel like you're already behind when it comes to marketing, then remember, what's that old saying? When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the next best time? Today. Change your marketing strategy and change your marketing mindset today. If you want to use these platforms to grow your business, then you need to watch for the trends. You need to follow the people who are in the know about these changes and make changes that are sometimes whispered in your ears in order to grow your small business. I would really love to hear your thoughts on this. I feel like I'm kind of overwhelming you with different ways to think about social media, but also just trying at the end of the day to get you to look at social media, especially organically, with a different lens. What are they telling me? What are the breadcrumbs? And am I actually following them? Or am I doing the same marketing I was doing 2 years ago and wondering why it's not working today? I'd love to keep chatting about this. If you're not part of my like-minded business owners Facebook group, then go and join there and let's have a chat about it. Again, I have some really great guests coming on this year to inside my like-minded Facebook group, my like-minded business owners Facebook group. And I would really love for you to be a part of that as well. I have finance experts, PR experts, marketing experts, besides myself, law experts, and so many more coming in. And you get to hear these people and ask any questions that you might have. Go and join that community. I would love to see you over there. Remember, you can get the show notes for this podcast at all the W's, social media and marketing.com.au/187. Thanks so much to the Melbourne Innovation Centre and the Digital Solutions Program for supporting this episode today. Again, if you're based in Victoria, don't forget to check out the program by going to courses.melbourneinnovation.com.au, and for $44 you can get one-to-one access with for mentoring with either myself or like 50 other digital marketing gurus from across the state. I will see you next week on the podcast for episode 189. But in the meantime, if we're not hanging out on social, let's do that. Let's get social on social, and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and of course, LinkedIn. But whatever you do, remember my small business peeps. As my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
No time like the present. Tell it like you feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yorta Yorta people, on which I record this podcast and conduct my business today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today as well.